Hey guys, it's Daisy. I wanted to do a Q&A, just like a catching up Q&A type of thing, just because I haven't been around for a very long time. Y'all seem pretty interested in like wanting to know what I've been up to. So like, let's get started, y'all. Yeehaw, man. Daniela, I'm assuming, but it's D-N-N-I-E-L. Asked, how was Sundance? Also glad you're back. What's up? How you doing? Sundance was so much fun. One, it was the first time that I was around snow for like a very long time. Before Sundance, I maybe had seen snow once, and it was like in Las Vegas or something, and I was maybe like 4. I peed on myself in the freezing cold. That's like the only memory I have of snow. But I have some footage and I want to put it together into a vlog, which I'll upload soon. But I will say that Sundance was really amazing. I got to see a lot of amazing films. After some films in particular, they had Q&As, and it was really nice just to hear the director's insight and their intentions of the film and comparing that to like my interpretation of the film. I really want to go back to Sundance. I had so much fun with my friends. Everyone's so amazing and talented, and I love them all. What are some of your favorite soundtracks? I don't know if you guys know this, but I listen to movie soundtracks so much. I probably more than regular music, just because when I listen to soundtracks, it's not normal classical music, but it just like, it makes me think and it makes me feel more, and it helps a lot when I'm trying to think of like movie concepts, or even if I'm doing my homework or trying to write something. I actually do have a playlist of my favorite soundtracks. I don't remember the names of the songs specifically, but Pan's Labyrinth is my favorite movie like of all time. That soundtrack, so good. The Moonlight soundtrack, oh my god. I just recently listened to the soundtrack of Phantom Thread. Beautiful soundtrack as well. The Frida soundtrack, so beautiful too. Those are just a few that I can remember at the top of my head. How was the college application process for you? Hope all is well. Thank you. I hope all is well with you too. The college application process was just okay. Like, I mean, it was just as stressful as I expected it to be. I think my essays were really good. I'm confident in them. At one point, I read one out loud to my class for notes, and I ended up crying by the end of it. But basically, I just talked about how when I was younger, I pretty much hated being Mexican. There wasn't really like a lot of representation in media or things that I saw, and when I did see them, it was just really like inaccurate, derogatory stereotypes that just like didn't make my culture look appealing, and it made me hate like my culture and myself even more. And it sort of just like made me just sort of ignorant of who I was. It was like that for a while, and as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate my culture more. And also growing as a filmmaker, I've noticed the lack of accurate representation, because it connects back to like the way I felt when I was younger. The fact that I didn't have anyone to look up to inspires me to create and put myself out there for other people of color, or just people in general who feel like they can't pursue anything creative or pursue filmmaking because they don't see themselves in it. They don't see people like them being successful. Coco would have shook my little like 10-year-old soul. Alright? That film probably would have changed me like way earlier. What was the question? What do you do when you can't come up with ideas? If I can't come up with an idea, like I can't come up with an idea, you know? When I need inspiration, I'll listen to music and soundtracks, but thinking of an idea itself, I don't like to force that, because then it's not as genuine and it doesn't feel right, and it probably won't even connect for a good idea. I really want to get into filmmaking, but I don't know where to start. I have so many ideas in my head, but I don't know how to start making short films. Do you have any tips? Question mark, smiley face. But the good thing is that we both are alive at a time where we have phones with cameras, and we have like the ability to just like shoot wherever you want to. If you really have the passion for it, and if you really have the drive for it, you will go far beyond any point just to figure out, okay, how can I do this because I love it so much. If I was you and I really wanted to make a film that I was really passionate about, I would use my phone. There's iMovie on your phone. I mean, I don't know if you have an Android. I'm pretty sure there's editing softwares on there too. If you have a laptop, Windows, I mean, you can get like some editing softwares for free online. YouTube has one for free. Like, there's so many outlets and tools on the internet and in your like smart device. Like, it's really unimaginable. As long as you have a passion and a story to tell, then basically you are unstoppable. Worst outfit you made? I believe the year was 2006. My mom told me that there was a phase I went through where I just wore like moon boots because I really love Napoleon Dynamite, and I made her buy me some. I think my worst outfits were when I was younger. I think everyone's worst outfits were when they're younger. What inspired you to become a filmmaker? I just really liked telling stories. In 3rd grade even, I tried writing a novel. Did not work out. I got like chapter and a half in. It was about this boy and a great white shark in South Africa, and his parents were biologists, and he befriended a shark, but then like there's a storm and the shark goes, like I don't know what the hell it was about or like where my 3rd grade mind was. I started out making stop motions with my toys because that was the most accessible thing, and we had this really tacky flip camera. Made stop motions on Windows Movie Maker because that's all I had. When I was even younger than that, my aunt had an Apple laptop. It was like the first ones that had a web camera, and I remember it was me and my cousin Desiree. We'd be using her laptop and we'd use the photo booth thingy. We just like pretend we're on a talk show, and I'd like have a fake British accent. I was pretending to be Alexa Chung at one point because like all we do was like make videos on our laptop and watch MTV, and all that'd be on MTV was the Alexa Chung like talk show or whatever that she used to have. Like, I've always loved to entertain and to tell stories, and I think that's always something that's been a part of me. So that like motivation and drive and passion, it's been normal to me, and that's a big thing that's motivated me, inspired me to be a filmmaker. And on top of that, just like my awareness of what's lacking in the industry and what my intentions are, everything, like it all builds up, and it just like pushes me even further, and also you guys do too, so thank you. What's your process for making short films? Actually, I'm very glad you asked that. What I do is, besides listening to soundtracks to get inspiration, or even like watching different films that have the tone of what I'm going for, I have this little red journal. Shoddy's thick though. Basically what I do is I'll block off sections and I'll write like a title and the date that I started like the entry of this idea. I'll write down like a tone section, outline section, and I'll just write, like jot down all my notes. Possible ending ideas, a log line, research depending on what the film is. I'll even write down like films to watch as reference. I'll write little descriptions of who the characters are, just so I can get a better idea of who they are and how they'd react to certain situations while I'm writing like dialogue and stuff like that. Like I drew an arc right here just of the outline of the story, so I know my plot points. And then here's the one I did for La Niña Morada, which you guys have seen if you guys have seen it on my channel. Props and stuff like that that I want to include. I'll write down possible actor choices that I have, or things like that, an outline again. I have to print them out still, but sometimes I'll leave sections blank to put photos from the shoot just so I can remember them, because I think it's really cute and I like on-set photography. This one's blank. This is on a doc that I'm trying to plan, but I just haven't had time for. This is for the Windows Open music video. On this side, I just wrote what I thought while I was listening to the song, tonal-wise. Then I have a mood board, which is just snapshots or screenshots from different music videos or films, the different setup ideas that I had for the music video. Just a whole lot of stuff. What I'm trying to do now is, after I have a draft of a film, like a script, I'll have a section and I'll write like first draft notes, and I'll just write down all the notes that people give me so I can refer back to them and just like keep in mind like what people have said in the past and just compare and contrast. And I don't know. So that's what I do. So what have you been filming recently? I'm in love with your work. We just recently shot the Windows Open music video, which is really, really fun. Right now, I'm not planning on filming anything. Right now, I'm just writing my senior thesis, and then my Moondance film, which is for a festival at my school. My senior thesis, basically it's about a girl, and she's with her sister, and they get separated because of some drunk rebel soldiers. They get attacked. So the little sister flees, and she's found by a weapon smuggler, and he basically says like, I'll help you find your sister if you help me smuggle these weapons. So they go on this journey, and the big like purpose and the why I want to make the film is just to address the issue of machismo in the Latinx community, how it affects the youth, older people, and then just how like ingrained it is in the culture and how wrong it is. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I'm writing that currently. It's gonna cost money that I don't have, so I might have to start like an Indiegogo or something, but I need money. I need a horse. If anyone has a horse, hit me up, hit my line, hit my email, please. What are people's reactions when you tell them you're a Leo? Usually, when I tell people I'm a Leo, they're not surprised. They're like, oh, I knew that, because like the way you're dressed, or like, of course a Leo's gonna say they're a Leo, because they're so proud of being a Leo. Has your style evolved? If so, who or what inspired the evolution? I actually was thinking of doing a style evolution video, because I think they're just so funny. I didn't have a scene phase, I had a grunge phase. With like American Apparel, oh, thank God it's changed. But like, my style has evolved from like grungy, minimal American Apparel to, I don't know how to describe my style. But if you call me Tumblr. How did your parents react to you wanting to study cinematics? Any advice? This is a really good question. It's hard when parents have a specific approach, pressures on you to pursue like something very academic, like STEM majors. And that comes a lot with like first generation kids, or just kids who have a lineage of family who have gone to college and pursued like really prestigious careers like lawyers, doctors, things like that. And it's kind of draining. I think I was in the car one day with my mom. It was 8th grade. I'd already been like making my little videos for a while. I was just sitting on the passenger seat and I was like, Mom, like I wanna like pursue filmmaking as like a career. And I think she asked me, how are you gonna do that? Prior to this, my whole entire life up until 8th grade, I always said I was going to be a veterinarian or marine biologist because I just loved animals. My mom always saw what I did as a hobby. But when I told her, she wasn't really mad, but she wasn't excited either. And I told her, like, I want to pursue filmmaking. There's a high school, Loxa, and they have film, and I really want to go there so I can do it and like learn more. And she kind of just like was really quiet. And she's like, okay, like you can apply. And so I did. And she told me after I got in that she only let me apply because she thought I wasn't gonna get in. I guess from that, what you can get from it is just that like my parents' reaction was just very like iffy about it. Like they were just like, okay, she's gonna do this now, we'll see how it goes. Like it's probably not gonna go well because like it's an art and usually artistic careers don't pay a lot of money. And I'm really glad that I made the decision to, one, tell my mom that, but 2, to even go ahead and like try to apply to LOXA, because I feel like I've proven myself in a way to my parents, because like I've won awards, I've made films that I'm like sort of proud of, and they see what I've done, and they see this, my channel and everything, and they're just like, they've gained a little bit more respect for what I do, and they've like supported me a little bit more than like at the start. And like regarding advice, I know it's hard to face your parents with anything because like they're your parents, and like I just think that. So what happened was my card was full, so I took it out, dumped all the footage, and while it was dumped there, I went to check my email. Then I got an email from Chapman saying that admission status thing changed on my page, so I went to go check. And then I found out I didn't get into Chapman, so I didn't get into Chapman. Whoa, and I cried for a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see the pain on my face. This is the first college I actually find out from. So, and it was also my backup, and I'm kind of freaking out a bit just because like I didn't get into my backup. I applied to 5 colleges total. All of them are hard to get into. UCLA, LMU, USC, NYU. For film, TV and film production, they all have very large applicant pools. So like, I'm like, this is a very eventful Q&A, guys. Yeah. So anyways, I think what I was talking about was telling your parents that you want to pursue something creative like filmmaking. Well, as you can see, it's not easy, especially when you want to go to college, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. And regarding advice, you know, I would say that if you continue to live and pursue things that aren't really what you want to do, it's more just to please your parents, which I get, it's understandable because like parents sacrifice a lot, they do a lot of things for us to succeed. But at the end of the day, if something doesn't make you happy, it's not going to make you happy for the long run, and it's not worth it. And if you really have a passion for something creative, no matter what the circumstances are, I just really strongly encourage you to just find a way to improve your passion, work on that, do what you want to do, no matter what your family may think or what your family may do. When you really love something, like you're willing to do anything, and if this is something that you truly want to do, you just have to do it. And it's hard and it's scary, and that's why I'm making a film about it. I have no title for it yet, so I'm calling it Slice of Life Film. The main character, it's her trying to figure out what she's going to do and dealing with the pressures of being first generation. Her parents being so proud of her, like doing good in school, whatever, but yet that doesn't make her happy. You know, she's creative and she wants to do something creative. And on top of that, regarding her sexuality too, like it just like, she has a lot of things that she's like kind of like can't talk about. It's dealing with all those suppressed emotions, her internal struggle, and trying to figure out, okay, does anyone relate? Or am I just alone in this little struggle within me? I think it's just really important because I know that a lot of people can relate to it even if they're not POC. Anyone can relate to it if they've ever in a moment in their life dealt with people who told them they couldn't do something because it's just the way things are, or you're not going to be successful because it's just not the right path. Like, how many film projects have you done over the course of being absent from YouTube? Okay, so there was the 64-hour film festival where I had to make a film in 64 hours. The music video that I just recently did. Well, I worked on my college film, so that counts. I kept tweaking it. I applied to Young Arts, which doesn't count as like a film itself because I just applied to it. I won as a merit scholar, which is really cool. It's like nationwide. As a self-identified Chicana or Latina, how do you use your platform to empower your community? Do you also participate in activism for it? I kind of mentioned this earlier, but just about like how like representation is really important to me. Representation of like my culture, other people's culture is really important because like the media is such a big tool. I see the value in that, and I want to use that to like bring up like different issues that I'm very passionate about. That's my form of activism in a way. Like I can't go protest and do things like that because like one, I'm not allowed to. My mom's very concerned, like just the way it is. Someone was like, well, why don't you just go, like you're 18? Like it doesn't work like that in my house, sweetie. It doesn't that doesn't fly. But my position and my efforts in the Latinx community is to use my platform and to use my creativity and voice as a storyteller to uplift the community using my talent to speak for others. I feel like that can be more impactful in a way, and plus it's more permanent. I'd rather spend time creating something that can change people's perspectives or create relatability and understanding amongst everyone, if that makes sense. Gabby Too Rad asked music recommendations. We're gonna end it on this light note because, you know, this has been a heavy Q&A. Like, I gotta say, she's been pretty hefty. I'll play some songs for you guys, but I have to be really quiet because my family's sleeping.
I was down, yeah. Now I'm better. Stunting with my dogs like my first name Cruella.
Now that I am sober, I take back what I said. I'm sitting with this love hangover.
My girl is a 10, with a new Barbie you can, but we don't gotta pretend. Keep it 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Show me that it's real, make it bounce.
I'm back, guys. Those are all the questions I'm gonna answer today. I just have a lot of footage to go through. My battery's gonna die. My battery's gonna die. Those are all the songs that I really like. Thank you so much for all your support, guys. Even though I haven't posted in a very long time, but yeah, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I got to answer a lot of your questions, and I'm really thank you so much for asking me about like what I do, and rather than just like clothes, because like I got more to offer, and that's what I want to show you guys for the rest of this year. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye.